Many people equate success with financial security, and this is not just for older individuals but also for the youth. However, this idea is entirely illogical. Why should young people fear and be overly cautious about their future? At this age, taking risks is very natural, even enjoyable. All indications point to an increase in available opportunities, and the population is growing rapidly. If there's a time to take risks, it's now. Additionally, the inclination of many people to think small means there's much less competition than you might think in high-paying professions. This is the detailed summary of the 4th chapter of The Magic of Thinking Big. But before we start the video, I want to let you know that this channel is dedicated to creating detailed summaries of self-development books. If you're interested in this type of content and want to improve your life, be sure to subscribe and give us a like. Now, let's get started. There's an important rule for success that must be well understood. When we talk about success, people are not measured by their height, weight, certificates, or lineage. Success is measured by the size of a person's thinking. The size of our thinking determines the size of our achievements. The biggest weakness of a person is to underestimate themselves. Philosophers have advised for thousands of years that a person should know themselves. Unfortunately, it seems that people have interpreted this advice as, know your negative side. Yes, it's good for a person to know their limits and weaknesses, but it's also important for them to know their strengths so they can utilize them effectively. We don't think in words and phrases, we think in images. For example, when we hear or read the phrase "that wonderful musical instrument," the mind converts those words into images. And each image is slightly different from the other. Therefore, the images you create determine how others behave. Let's assume you say, "I'm sorry to tell you that we failed." People will only see the failure and disappointment conveyed by the word failed. Now, let's assume you say, "Here's a new approach to work. I think it will succeed." People will feel excited and ready to try again. The idea is to focus in your speech on the positive side of the issue, not the negative, so you can sharpen the enthusiasm of those around you. Here are 4 ways to significantly improve your thinking vocabulary. 1. Always use big, positive, and happy words. When someone asks you how you feel, and you reply, "I feel tired, I have a headache, I don't feel good," you're actually making yourself feel worse. 2. Use positive language to describe feelings and others. Instead of using negative or neutral words to describe how you feel, opt for big, positive, cheerful words and phrases. For example, when asked how you feel, respond with enthusiasm such as, "Just wonderful, thanks," or "Great." Use bright and favorable language to describe other people, avoiding petty or negative remarks. Remember, everyone craves praise, so be generous with your positive language. 3. Encourage others with positive words. Offer praise and encouragement to those around you using positive language. This not only uplifts their spirits, but also creates a positive atmosphere. Be mindful of the power of your words and how they can influence others' attitudes and behaviors. See what can be, not just what is. Big thinkers train themselves to see not just what is, but what can be. What gives real estate value? A highly successful realtor who specializes in rural property shows what can be done if we train ourselves to see potential where little or nothing presently exists. Most of the rural property around here, my friend began, is run down and not very attractive. I'm successful because I don't try to sell my prospects a farm as it is. I develop my entire sales plan around what the farm can be. Simply telling the prospect, "The farm has XX acres of bottomland and XX acres of woods and is XX miles from town," doesn't stir them up and make them want to buy it. But when you show them a concrete plan for doing something with the farm, they're just about sold. Here, let me show you what I mean. He opened his briefcase and pulled out a file. "This farm," he said, "is a new listing with us. It's like a lot of them. It's 43 miles from the center of the metropolitan area, the house is run down, and the place hasn't been farmed in 5 years. Now, here's what I've done. I spent 2 full days on the place last week, just studying it. I walked over the place several times. I looked at neighboring farms. I studied the location of the farm with respect to existing and planned highways. I asked myself, what's this farm good for? I came up with 3 possibilities. Here they are. He showed them to me. Each plan was neatly typed and looked quite comprehensive. One plan suggested converting the farm into a riding stable. The plan showed why the idea was sound. A growing city, more love for the outdoors, more money for recreation, good roads. The plan also showed how the farm could support a sizable number of horses so that the revenue from the rides would be largely clear. The whole riding stable idea was very thorough and convincing. The plan was so clear and convincing. In similar fashion, this enterprising salesman developed a second thorough plan for a tree farm and a third plan for a combination tree and poultry farm. Now, when I talk with my prospects, I won't have to convince them that the farm is a good buy as it is. I help them to see a picture of the farm changed into a money-making proposition. Besides selling more farms and selling them faster, I can sell a farm at a higher price than my competitors. People naturally pay more for acreage and an idea than they do for just acreage. Because of this, more people want to list their farms with me, and my commission on each sale is larger. The moral is this: look at things not as they are, but as they can be. Visualization adds value to everything. A big thinker always visualizes what can be done in the future. They aren't stuck with the present. It isn't what one has that's important. Rather, it's how much one is planning to get that counts. The price tag the world puts on us is just about identical to the one we put on ourselves. And thus, we've concluded summarizing the 4th chapter of The Magic of Thinking Big. If you found this video informative, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We post new videos twice a week, so turning on the notification bell will ensure you don't miss the summary of the next chapter. Peace be upon you.